It was the biggest win of my lifetime. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish defeated the Georgia Bulldogs 23-10 to win the Sugar Bowl and advance to the semifinals of the college football playoffs. And finally, we can fully retire the biggest misnomer surrounding the Fighting Irish. Let's talk about the supposed lack of speed. Ryan Roberts from A to Z Sports, breaking down everything Notre Dame football, fresh off of a massive 23-10 victory over the Georgia Bulldogs in the Sugar Bowl to advance the college football semifinals. Folks, I have fought against this misnomer around the Notre Dame Fighting Irish over the last couple years about lack of team speed. Everyone talks about it. When they talk about the SEC programs and the amount of speed they have, and then they talk about a program like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, there is this supposed huge talent gap and this huge speed gap between the two teams. We have heard about it in nausea. And I have been fighting back over the last couple years because although Notre Dame still had to get over the mountaintop, and it's not over yet, obviously. Notre Dame still has to win 2 games to win a national championship for the first time in 30 plus years. But this was a big step. Their first major bowl victory in over 30 years. The first huge win of my lifetime. We have been programmed in the Brian Kelly era, but even before that, to just kind of accept these losses. You know, whether it was USC in 2005, whether it was Alabama in 2020, Clemson 2018, like you were programmed that you weren't supposed to win those football games. And you go out and you beat a Georgia team that had not lost to a non-SEC program since the 2018 season. That's how long it's been. And when I watch this football game, this is what's going to happen. And this is already happening out in the universe. SEC homers and Notre Dame haters alike are going to put these two things out in the world. One, if Carson Beck would have played, it would have been a different game. Georgia would have won. The other part is that Notre Dame didn't win based upon athleticism and talent. They won because they're big brutes and they're physical and they're downhill. And I would push back against that and say that you didn't watch this football game. Because the game I watched, I saw one of the fastest Notre Dame teams of my lifetime. A team that matched Georgia athletically in this game, and in a lot of areas was the faster team tonight. When you talk about the biggest storylines in this game, it's going to center around Riley Leonard's ability to run the football, the speed that he brings to the table as a 4'5" something athlete at 6'4", about 215, 220 pounds at the quarterback position. You're going to talk about Jaden Harrison outrunning the entire Georgia special teams for a big 98-yard kick return. You're going to talk about the Notre Dame defense suffocating this Georgia Bulldog run game and forcing them to be one-dimensional. There was a play, I think it was a screen pass. I can't remember which running back it was, but there was a play where it looked like Georgia was about to break it. And this was a perfect, I think, just symbol for what I'm talking about here, is that I thought for a second, I was like, that one's going to go there. And then not only did it only go for 2 or 3 yards, it was 2 or 3 yards of 4 guys colliding basically in the same instant. The rallying, the team speed, the range on this defense was something to marvel at today. And you're playing against a team in Georgia that, although it was not as good as they were a couple years ago, is still one of the faster, more athletic teams in all of college football. That's how they recruit, and that's how they consistently put out talent. This is the SEC champs. They have team speed. And Notre Dame, in a lot of areas today, on Thursday, was the faster football team than what the Georgia Bulldogs were. So we can stay true to those misnomers if you want. You can sit here and say Notre Dame is still slow, but Georgia's just not good. You can do all those things. But if you saw it, you know that this Notre Dame team is fast and it is athletic. And this is a different unit. Because I remember back to 2020 in the college football playoff against Alabama, where we had to see Nick McLeod, Sean Crawford, those types of players work to the perimeter against Devonta Smith, against Najee Harris, and it just was not even close. Alabama had such a huge athleticism gap on the edges. This was not this world. Georgia tried to hit the edges early in this football game, and you could see the range, the rallying, the play in pursuit. This is a fast Notre Dame team, and get rid of this misnomer. The lack of speed has not been a thing pretty much since the moment Marcus Freeman got to campus. When he started really putting recruiting classes together, we have seen this team get longer and more athletic. And if Notre Dame loses to Penn State or they make a national championship game and lose another game, it won't be because of lack of speed. It'll be because of other deficiencies, but this is a fast Notre Dame team, so please retire that misnomer, stop talking about it. Notre Dame has plenty of team speed, and we saw that against the Georgia Bulldogs. Folks will have you locked in the rest of the playoffs. This could be the year. Let's hope for the best, and as always, go Irish.